Good morning, YouTube world. I hope everybody's doing good this morning, ready to work on this Thanksgiving meals and start getting everything done, y'all. Get it prepared. So I'm on about my last 3 videos for Thanksgiving dishes. I'm gonna call it Thanksgiving dishes. You can use some of these with your Christmas meal, but I've been saying holiday meals, but I've been trying to stay a little bit focused on what I would call Thanksgiving dishes, right? So this morning, and I needed to get on it. I've been up in here, y'all, since, I don't know, it was dark. I don't even know what time it was. I just had it on my mind and couldn't sleep, so I got up and got in here and got started, because the preparation part is what takes so long with this. Okay, making dressing isn't hard. It's all the preparation stuff that just takes time. Okay, and I want y'all to know that this is just what I call a basic Southern cornbread dressing. Okay, and I want to make it basic because I want you to know that you can add anything to this dressing that you want to, or you can omit some of this stuff. Like, I've got celery and onion going in mine. If you don't want those in there, just don't put them in there. It's no big deal on it, right? A lot of people, I don't know, they just put all kind of things in there, but this is going to be basic, and we kind of like it that way. And I'm just doing the celery and onion. That's what I'm trying to say there, okay? But I'm just saying that you can put anything in there you want, all right? Now, I've done most all of the preparation, y'all, so that I could cut this video down. And I'm making a half of a recipe because I'm only going to bake a 9x13 pan of this dressing, okay? And so you can double this, what I'm doing this morning. You can double it. Now, the only thing that varies is the liquid, your broth that goes in there. I've got, on this, let me see here. I had to write this down, y'all, because I do not measure this stuff. It's so hard to tell you, what have I got? I've got 3 cups of broth on here for this half recipe, but we'll see what that entails there, okay? But we'll get there in a minute. Here we go, y'all. Y'all ready? Get you a pencil so that you'll know the measurements. If you have to have measurements, then get you a pencil or a pen or whatever, and so you can be ready to write down the actual measurements on making this basic Southern cornbread dressing. Okay? Alright, y'all. I have my oven preheated at 350. Alright? That's the first thing. Get your oven preheated. The very next thing we're going to do, y'all, I'm going to put my phone down here now so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to move this over here for a minute. The first thing we're going to get going here is I have 1 large onion cut up and about, let me see what I said on here. I said 1 large cup of celery. I like the celery in mine the way we're going to do this. Okay, there went my oven beeped. It's ready. But what we're going to do is take this and we're going to put it in this pot. A lot of people don't like the chunks in there. But I'm going to tell you, I wish I could put them in there. I love the celery and onion bites in it. But what we're going to do to keep that from being a problem is I'm going to put water on this. Just water. Let me get some and I'll show you how much I put in there. Okay, look. Let's see. It ain't even covering it, right? So we're going to put that in there, and then I'm going to take half a stick of butter, okay? Yeah, half a stick of butter, more or less, right? I mean, what did I write on there? 4 tablespoons. So, okay? So anyway, I'm going to throw that butter in there, and we got to get this going on the stove. Let me get it cooking over here, y'all. Alright, I can get you back up here for a minute. So what we're doing there is we're going to get that celery and onion cooked, and then we're going to take a vegetable smasher and smash it in the pot and just smash it all up. like that together. Once it gets cooked and tender, smash it all up and everything, and then we'll be able to add it to our dressing. I gotta get a towel. I already have butter on my fingers. But that's the first thing we got to do is get the celery and onion cooking, right? All right. I'm going to show you what I've done so far this morning. I'll take my foil off of here so I can show you. And y'all, if you want to make your cornbread homemade, that's fine. I mean, I've done it 1,000 times. But I'm trying to make it easy for you, and I want you to know that you can use these little packets. So that's what I did this morning so we could do measurements on it, okay? And I used 2 packs of the yellow cornbread mix, okay? 2 packs of it for this recipe. Lulu, that little dog, Lord have mercy. Anyway, so 2 packs of cornbread mix. Now, what I want you to know is, on this it calls for 2/3 of a cup of milk and 1 egg, okay? So with my 2 packs of cornbread mix, I put my 1 egg in each pack. So I just dumped it in my bowl, both packs, dumped them in my bowl, and I added 2 eggs to it, right? Okay? The next thing I did was add, where is it? I added 3 more eggs to it, y'all, to the cornbread recipe, okay? So I had in there 2 bags, 2 packets of your cornbread mix, and 5 eggs, okay? And then it calls for 2/3 cup of milk. So I did that twice, all right? So I have my milk, my cornbread mix, 2 of those, and 5 eggs, okay? And the reason I do that is I can bake it up, and the eggs are already done in there. So that way we're going to be able to taste this dressing. Everything's going to be done in it by the time we get ready to bake it, okay? And that makes it nice. And I like to be able to taste of mine along the way when I'm putting the seasonings in there and stuff to, you know, and you might, I mean, you'll want to do that. Because you know, if you like, you know, sage, and I'm not a sage person, so I don't put no sage in mine, y'all. But what I do use, and it has some in there, let me see. Yeah, you can smell it in there. So it has some in it, but it's a good mixture of seasonings, and it's an old time, it's poultry seasoning, y'all. Poultry seasoning. You got to be careful with it, because it does have sage in it. And like I say, I don't like sage, but I want just a hint of it. I mean a hint. Some people like a lot. See, that's where you have to taste of it and see, okay? But we'll get there in a minute on that. All right, I'm going to put it down here where y'all can see what I've done. This is the pan that I baked it in, y'all. Okay? I baked the 2 packets, and then I crumbled them. All right? You crumble them really fine. Okay, the next thing I did was I took 5 slices of bread, y'all, and I cut the crust off of them. And then you put them in a little bowl and put just enough water on them where you can squish them up with your hands. See, I've got it squishy. And what it is, that makes the bread already broken down when I get ready to stir all this up together, right? Okay, y'all. So that's 5 slices of bread with the crust cut off of them. Just add some water added and squish them up. Now the next thing I do, and this is one of my favorite things to do, y'all, is take a box of the stovetop stuffing. I got the off-brand one. See, look. But you get the herb flavor one. Okay? Herb flavor. That little packet has perfect little seasonings in it. And it's, you know, mild enough that you're not going to overdo it. But I did the same thing, y'all. Put that in some, because y'all know how them little things are crusty in there, right? We want to break this stuff down. So I put that in a bowl. And I added water, just enough water, started working it around with my hands, let it soak it up, added more water until I had my little gooey, okay? But it's already got that little packet seasoning in there and everything. All that's in there. I just dumped it in a bowl, added the water, squish it up. So we have in here our 2 packs of cornbread that we baked. what did I say? How many slices of bread? 5 slices of bread, white bread, and 1 box of stovetop stuffing in there, just to add. It adds the perfect little thing to it. Don't be letting that take away from your old time thing that's probably the one thing, ain't no probably, it is the one thing that I do that the old timers don't. It's just because it works good for it, y'all, and gives it the seasoning, and it's a little more bread in there to add to your cornbread mix thing, okay? So, let me get down here. I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to put it in my bowl. I hope that bowl is not big enough, y'all. Let me see. This one should be right here. Okay. All right, I'm going to just dump all this in there. Make sure your cornbread is crumbled very good. And listen, when you're baking this cornbread, try not to bake it and get a big old crust on it. You don't want the crust on it. You want it, I mean, you're not baking this cornbread to be pretty for cutting and eating, like, cornbread that you're serving in slices. You're wanting to bake this for this dressing. So bake it lightly, Follow the instructions on there, but just watch it. Try not to let it, see, I want to show you. See, there's some of the crust that stayed on there. I just left that in there, y'all. I try not to put that brown crust in. There we go, that brown crust in it. So that's how I did that, right? Okay, we've got all our breading stuff in here now. Hold on, let me wash this off. My celery and onions are boiling over there. I hear them. I'm going to go ahead and get my vegetable smasher if I can find it. There it is. This is my favorite one. This kind. Alright, let me turn it down a little bit, but I'm just going to take it and start smashing it. Like I say, I didn't cover it with water, but I put it kind of right to the top of it, because that's going to be some liquid that we have to add. That's the other liquid that's going in our dressing, right? And it's not a measurement on that, y'all. That's not a measurement. So, let me smash on these. And listen, this is another thing. You can cook these as long as you want, right? So, like, I'm going to cook mine because I told you I still like a little bit of bite in there. So, I'm going to take mine and cook it down and stuff where it's not just the big bites, but it'll be soft little bites in there here and there, right? I'll show you when I take it off of the stove top. I'm going to get this spoon. I'm going to end up having to put my hands in it. You just can't not do it. I don't know, I say that, but maybe you could put it like in your stand mixer or something and do that, right? I don't know. It's just one of those things, you put your hands in it and do it. So, we're going to get this dressing, all the bread stuff kind of stirred up a little bit here. And like I say, our eggs are already in it. So, we're going to start putting our broth in there. I also like to add, and this is something you don't have to add, but I love to I'll put me in this size bowl, I don't know, couple 3 green onion tops. I like to cut them up and put them in there in it, right? So I'm just going to take them, just chop me some tops up to put in there. You don't have to put them in there if you don't want to. I just like it because it adds, again, another little fresh bite in there, kind of like. And, of course, it adds color. A little bit of color to your dressing. Okay? And just go ahead and throw them in there. I think that'll be enough. If it's not, I'll add some more here in a minute. Okay. Let me see these. I know y'all can't. You can see my legs. Okay. Smashing and smashing, y'all. I think that's all I want to do to it there. I'm going to bring it over here and show you. Let's see if you can see how. See that? I mean, there's still bites in there and everything, but they're soft, you know, and they're soft now. You know, they're not big crunchy bites, but there's still plenty of liquid in there, and you'll see that when I dump it in there. But let me see, I'm just taking it and press on them and, you know, turn it when you're pressing down in there, and just try to smush them up. And now, you know, like I say, some people, they like to cook it all the way down and, you know, smash it to where it's almost like a paste even. And it's still good like that, y'all. Really, it is. But I like my celery and onion in there. So, we're going to call this ready, y'all. Let me get my bowl back over here. Now we just take this onion and celery and we're going to dump it in there. It's going to be hot. I'll have to start with that spoon for a minute. Get it on this side, y'all. Okay. That'll work for that. Now, stir that in there a little bit. It's growing in size, y'all. You'll be surprised how much just this makes with just the 2 packets of the cornbread mix and the 5 slices of bread and 1 box of stovetop. Alright? It's already smelling delicious, just like dressing, y'all. Do y'all love dressing? I do. I love dressing. I can eat it and pass up on the turkey and ham and stuff. I'm not lying. But I've loved dressing since I was a kid. Of course, you know, your grandmother and your mama and all of them, they could make this stuff. And I mean make big old pans of it. Of course, we'd have, you know, we'd have big family gatherings, y'all. Big family gatherings. And you know, it seems like people don't hardly do that anymore. They're so busy with life and everything, you know. I miss those days, y'all. I miss that. I wish it was still like that. And once in a blue moon, we get together with this family and have the, you know, the whole crew here. But it's just hard for everybody to, you know, get together at the same time. But, you know, life as it is, right? Okay, y'all. Alright, I've got that stirred up now. Now, I have me some chicken broth. And I went ahead, I've got some in the freezer, but I went ahead just because, so I could show y'all, you know, make it more easy for y'all to, you know, do these measurements and things. And like I said, I'll try this measuring deal. Like I say, on here I called for, what did I say? I said it again a while ago. Oh, 3 cups. Let's see what that does, okay? Okay. Alright, this makes 2. It's wonderful, y'all, that your eggs are already cooked in there, right? You go ahead and have your eggs cooked in your cornbread, and you do not have to add them raw eggs in there and be worrying about that cooking when you're baking it, because everything's done. You're just going to have to cook it to the consistency that you want, you know. And you want to get this a little bit soupy. That's one of the, y'all, okay, here you go, talent face messes. Look how pretty it's already looking. Look at that. You there? I love it, y'all. It's really easy. I'm not storying to you. It's easy. I hope some of you younger girls are watching this. The ones that are really needing to learn how to make it. Okay. That was 2, right? Let's see what it does when I put 3 in there, which is what I put on the thingamajiggy. Let's see what that 3rd cup does here. I'm not going to have to put my hands in it, I don't think. This is working nicely. See, that's because I crumbled my bread up, my cornbread up good, and I went ahead and wet my sliced white bread and my stuffing mix. See? So I'm not having to get in there and squish it all with my fingers and stuff, because it's already squished. Oh, y'all. I gotta get me a taster spoon now and see where we're at on it, because we're fixing to add the spices. Which, in here, I add salt, pepper, and poultry seasoning. I learned that from a lady that I used to work in the cafeteria out at the power plant with, Miss Ella Mae Minor. She was the sweetest thing, and I think she'd been cooking all her life. She cooked for the church, and she cooked out there with us, and any events and stuff, they always wanted her to cook. But she's the one told me about this, putting this poultry seasoning in there. Where is it at? Yeah, anyway, put the poultry seasoning in there, y'all. Alright, let me get me a little taster spoon and see where we're at on this thing. Okay. This is where you have to do your thing with it. Y'all, I'm going to add the rest of this. And this is unsalted, this broth is. So, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this. What are these? A quart? 32 ounces, it says. So, I'm going to go ahead and add that to this. Alright. Stir that up in there a minute. Okay, now, I'm going to do my salt, y'all. And I'm just doing it, you know, what I think. And remember, don't put too much because you can't take it out. So we're going to do a little bit of salt. Just a little bit of black pepper in there. And now, this is where we be careful. I'm going to take a half a teaspoon. And I don't even know if I'm going to put that in there because I'm scared of it, y'all. I smell that sage in it. Let me see here. I bet you I'm going to be saying a quarter teaspoon for me. Let me stir it up in here and see. Man, I can smell that sage in that stuff. It's scary to me because for me personally, I can run the whole batch putting too much sage in it. There's a lot of people love that sage flavor in it. And I understand that. Everybody's got their own, you know, thing on that. Okay, and y'all see the consistency? See? it's kind of soupy, but it's not watery, okay? Okay? You want it really loose. Alright, let me get me another spoon here. Now, let's see this. See where we're at on that. Still needs more salt, y'all. So I'm going to go for the salt. Okay. I can put some more poultry seasoning in it. I can tell. So we're going to say that was like a quarter of a teaspoon a while ago. So I mean, I'm just barely, see that? And that's a half a teaspoon. I will add it a pinch at a time all morning long until I get enough in there, because I am not, you can't take it out. You can't take it out, y'all. And dressing is one of the #1 things that people want at Thanksgiving, isn't it? Everybody's always ready for dressing. And there is thousands of recipes out there. But that's why I'm telling y'all, this is a basic, I think this is as basic as you can get. Okay, I think I got it all stirred. Let's try it again. Guess what? That's it. That's all we need right there for a tally-fay, okay? So you kind of play gently with your seasonings that you're going to put in there, whatever kind you're going to put in there. But remember, I'm saying a quart to this recipe, okay? That worked out pretty good there. Let me get us another pan. Oh, you know what? I have a nice glass pan that I think I'm going to bake it up in, y'all. Let me find that book. Here it is. Oh, Lord. Get it out of my glass dishes here. All my Corningware. But I love these old, big old glass things. They look pretty. Alright. I think what I'm going to do, y'all, is take my butter block that I did, and I'm just going to rub it down with this butter. Just because. Alright. Alright. Here we go, y'all. Look what a pan of dressing that makes, y'all. Now, I don't know how many folks you're going to have, but I do have the recipe to double this. That I make it in 9 by 13 pans, because it cooks easier. You don't have to worry about it not being done in the middle so much. Okay? Now here is our dressing. Can you see it? I'm going to take this and put it in the oven, y'all. And it's supposed to bake for, on the thing it says 30 minutes, but that's where you have to watch it, okay? And I'm going to bake it uncovered. I'm not going to cover it. So, at 350. In the 9 by 13 pans, I think, you know, it's easy enough. It's shallow enough that you don't have to cover it like you would if it's one of them big, deep pans trying to get the center of it done, okay? I'm going to put it in the oven, and we'll take it out here in a little while. Okay, y'all. Look at this beautiful pan of dressing. Can you see all that goodness? Look at that. It's baked perfectly. See, It's the the first, let me see if I'm showing you the first little crack right there. The second I seen that little crack, I'm like, I know it's done now. I know it's done now. And see, look at the sides of it. See, they're just golden, just golden. But look how pretty that is, y'all. And that's a big old 9 by 13 pan. This booger is deep. That's going to be some good stuff. And oh yeah, who said 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Try an hour and 20 minutes. Okay? An hour and 20 minutes in my oven for it to get to this stage right here. Okay? And I'm going to put some foil over it very tightly so all the moisture will stay in there. So I have now, I've got my dressing done. I've got my candied sweet potatoes in here. And I've got my giblet gravy made in here. Look at that, y'all. That is true giblet gravy. I just did the video on that. That'll trip people out. Because it's true giblet gravy. But anyway, y'all, there is the dressing. There's your basic dressing, cornbread dressing. Southern style, okay? And like I say, you can do anything to it you want, you know. Oh, the one thing I did leave out because I was blabberjawing with y'all was, I love to do this. I had 3 boiled eggs peeled and ready for me to chop, y'all. Because I like to put these chopped boiled eggs in that dressing when I'm stirring it up before I pour it up. Well, I done poured it up and started baking it. I mean, it's not necessary, you know, but I like them in there because it gives bites, you know, and stuff, texture. But I got chopped boiled eggs in my giblet gravy, so that'll make up for it. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all try this dressing recipe. Give it a try and see. I know my family loves it. So, you know, it's got that good old, just regular, good dressing flavor to it. So, I love you guys. I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. And I've had so much fun doing these videos on the Thanksgiving meals, dishes. So, you know, after the holidays, we'll get back to regular old home cooking stuff for dinner. You know, what's for supper, right? But let's enjoy these holidays. We got Thanksgiving right now. I'll be coming up with some Christmas stuff. I love you guys. God bless everybody. And y'all count your blessings, right? We're very blessed. And pray for those that are less fortunate. I know I do. And I'm just so blessed. God bless y'all. In the kitchen with Hallie Faye.